Good morning. We're bringing the adjournment meeting of the December 5th County Board meeting to order. I'll begin with a roll call vote. Mr. Hess? Present. Mr. Tholen?
Present.
Mrs. Polk? Present. Mr. Snipes? Present. Mr. Seroy?
Present.
Mrs. Weber?
Present.
Mrs. Parker?
Present.
Mr. Fairfield?
Present.
Mr. Carrico?
Present.
Mr. Eckhoff?
Present.
Mr. Swanson?
Present.
Mr. Featherling?
Present.
Mr. Donnell?
Present.
Mr. Miller?
Present.
Mr. Long?
Present.
Mr. Kirkstra?
Present.
Mr. Hunter?
Present.
Mr. Smith?
Present.
Mr. Alexander Hildebrand?
Present.
Ms. Foster?
Present.
Ms. Andrade?
Present.
Ms. Armour Earps?
Present.
Mr. Ashcraft?
Present.
Ms. Monday?
Present.
Ms. Ritmanick Emmy?
Present.
Mr. Scanlon?
Present.
Ms. Turner? Mr. Wheeler? We have a quorum. Is there any public comment? Seeing no public comment, we'll move on to the election of the temporary chairman. I will call for a nomination for a temporary chairman. Mr. Fairfield.
I'd like to nominate Mr. Roger Hess.
Nomination for Mr. Hess. Is there a second to that nomination? Ms. Weber?
I second it.
Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Mr. Long?
I move that we close nominations.
There is a motion to close the nominations. Is there a second to that motion? Mr. Alexander, move to close those nominations. All those in favor of closing the nominations for temporary chairman, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Temporary chairman, Mr. Hess, if you would step up.
Nice tie.
Nice time.
Good morning. I'm going to call for the nomination for the county board chairman. Any nominations? Mr. Miller?
I move to nominate Andy Wheeler.
Nomination is for Andy Wheeler. Take a second to the nomination. Mr. Hunter.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I rise to second the
Your
nomination.
microphone,
I'm
please.
sorry. I should know this by now, right? Mr. Chairman, I rise to second the nomination of Mr. Andy Wheeler for board chairman, inasmuch that he's dedicated to the 107,000 people in the county. He's an expert at his craft, and we appreciate his leadership that he has served, as well as leading this county out of the fiscal doldrums for some period of time. And I applaud his service to the people of the county.
Thank you. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Ms. Parker?
I move that we close the nominations.
Is there a second to that? Ms. Polk? All in favor?
Roll call.
Roll call. Sorry.
Mr. Hess.
Aye.
Mr. Tholen.
Aye.
Mrs. Polk.
Aye.
Aye. Mr. Snipes.
Aye.
Mr. Seroy.
Aye.
Mrs. Weber.
Aye.
Mrs. Parker.
Aye.
Mr. Fairfield.
Aye.
Mr. Carrico.
Aye.
Mr. Eckhoff.
Aye.
Mr. Swanson.
Aye.
Mr. Featherling.
Aye.
Mr. Donnell.
Aye.
Mr. Miller.
Aye.
Mr. Long.
Aye.
Mr. Kirkstra.
Nay.
Mr. Hunter.
Aye.
Mr. Smith.
Aye.
Mr. Hildebrand.
Aye.
Ms. Foster.
Aye.
Ms. Andrade.
Aye.
Ms. Armour Earps.
Aye.
Mr. Ashcraft.
Aye.
Ms. Monday.
Aye.
Ms. Ritmanick Emmy.
Aye.
Mr. Scanlon.
Aye.
Ms. Turner. Mr. Wheeler. Motion carries.
I declare Andy Wheeler as the new elected county board chairman.
Good job.
Are we sure that that was not a vote to close nominations?
I thought that was the vote to close nominations.
And then you've gotta have one to
Elect the chair.
elect the chair.
Okay,
So you've got one more to go.
Okay.
sorry about that. Okay, that's to close.
Okay.
Okay, then I need a motion to close the nominations.
You have the,
We have the motion?
yeah.
Okay,
Election.
So now the motion to elect.
okay, we need a motion to elect.
Or you already got the motion, you just need to elect.
Oh, okay.
Roll call vote on that.
Roll call vote.
Mr. Hess,
Aye.
Mr. Tholen,
Aye.
We're good.
Mrs. Polk, Mr. Snipes,
Nay.
Mr. Seroy, Mrs. Weber,
Aye.
Mrs. Parker,
Aye.
Mr. Fairfield,
Aye.
Mr. Carrico, Mr. Eckhoff, Mr. Swanson, Mr. Featherling,
Aye.
Mr. Donnell, Mr. Miller, Mr. Long, Mr. Kirkstra,
Same.
Mr. Hunter, Mr. Smith,
Aye.
Mr. Hildebrand,
Aye.
Ms. Foster,
Aye.
Ms. Andrade,
Aye.
Ms. Armour Erps,
Aye.
Mr. Ashcraft,
Aye.
Ms. Monday,
Aye.
Ms. Rittmanick-Emmy,
Aye.
Mr. Scanlon,
Aye.
Ms. Turner, Mr. Wheeler.
We'll do this again.
Good job with that. I know.
They'll sign these, or you're gonna have them sign them.
We'll get that taken care of.
All right, we good?
Yep.
All righty. At this point, I'm calling for a nomination for the County Board Vice Chairman. Looking out, Mr. Seroy?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to nominate Mr. Matthew Alexander Hildebrand.
Is there a second to that nomination, Mr. Eckhoff? Are there any other nominations? Second time, any other nominations? Third time. Is there a motion to close the nominations? Mr. Miller, and a second? Mr. Carrico. All right, all those in favor of closing nominations for vice chairman, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All righty, and we have a motion and a second for vice chairman. All those in favor of electing Matt Alexander Hildebrand as vice chairman for the next 2 years, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries, unanimous. Congratulations, please join us.
There's your seat.
So we have to have everybody sign? Correct. While we're waiting for Matt to get settled and Amber, please, everybody must sign your oath before you leave the room here. So please file in as we begin here, grab one of these, and it's got your name on it. We'll get you all set up there.
I wish.
I just wanted to say congratulations to all the new members on the board, those being reelected as well, and to, without question, the absolutely most diverse board this county's ever seen. I just look around. This is historical. So you deserve that. Give yourselves, obviously, they deserve a round of applause. You stepped up and you did it, and you're here to represent your community and your county. That was called into question back in November of last year, and I think the results proved that we are pretty much better and stronger together. So we have a lot going on, and we're going to go through those in the committees coming up here in the next month for the new members. Things like pulling sand out of the river, the creation of a new department within county government, should I say the modification of one from highways into highways and waterways, since we're going to start working on the river ourselves to clean out access points. So while the big fix is elusive, we have things that we can do so we can enjoy the river. And that's what we're going to start taking charge over the next few years. We're deploying $2 million in grants designed to build a cohesive approach to tackling countywide issues. So that is just being released here shortly with a county board vote next week. And we're installing a court management system designed to streamline our public safety operations. The state's not helping us with and our taxpayers by forcing us to pay for things that normally would have come through fees through the courthouse. So the only way we can keep up is through efficiency, and we should be doing that anyway. You know, we're using federal tax dollars through all of our building projects, stuff that's not from locally property tax owners, to do all of this infrastructure work. And so I look forward to bringing you along on this journey and getting your contribution into where we're going. There's a lot happening, and it's a really good time. So with that, if you have a few more pictures to take with family and friends, please do so, but migrate down to the second floor as quickly as you can so we can take our board picture, and then get your family and public that's here can go upstairs. There's refreshments upstairs for a kind of a department head, new board member, and current board member kind of reception after this. So again, thanks for your service. And with that, Mr. Hess, do you have a motion?
Yes, I move that we adjourn the meeting.
Would you happen to have a second, Mr.
I'd
Sirek?
like to second that motion.
Oh, all right. We got Laurel and Hardy, or do we?
right.
It's not Crockett and Tubbs. We'll come up with something else. All those in favor say aye.